This is episode 109 of the Double Cross Anime Podcast. I'm Whooper, and here's Mario.
Hello, guys.
We're at the middle of the summer 2020 anime season, it being, I guess, a little bit past the middle of August. And since we changed up the podcast format, we've been talking about a lot of things that aren't currently airing. But this week, we're going back to our roots. We're going to discuss Japan's Sinks and Decadence, plus various other series that we've been watching. Because Mario and I, without the podcast to like force us into watching the same things, we don't have a lot of overlap.
Yep.
So we're going to do those two, then talk about what else we're watching on our own. And of course, we got to keep up with our coverage of Pluto. So we're going to discuss Volume 5, taking us up to Chapter 39.
Right.
That's the plan. How should we start this, since this is different than what we typically do?
Well, we can just start with the one of two shows, Japan Sing on Decadence.
What are you feeling?
All right, Japan Sings. Just get that
All right.
out of the way.
Well, I'm not sure why you say let's get it out of the way, because I've watched the whole thing. You've watched the first 6 episodes. Is that right?
That's right.
So I have the
I
Wikipedia article in front of me, so I don't go beyond what you've seen in terms of discussing it. But I'm not sure why you say let's get it out of the way, because based on your viewing of the first 6 episodes, you think that it's like doing an okay job, right?
No, episode 6 actually was really bad, but I I still reserve my opinion until that all the way through. It certainly isn't the show that I was expected it though. So
Well, what were you
for better
expecting?
or
Maybe
for
we should
worse,
start with that.
I it's more like a survival story. I did expect more of the like political things going on, which we actually doesn't really find much in the last 6 episodes. A bit, but not that much. I didn't expect the plot to go random like this. But for like for better or for worse, it's just something that I didn't expect is it also that's something like can go from left to right. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the experience I had so far.
Okay. There have been a lot of people who think this show is just a train wreck,
Yeah. Well, it literally about the Japan that sink. So it a chain wreck for a reason.
I suppose. Do you think that was an intentional choice? Do you think that everything that's happening so quickly and kind of out of left field, is that supposed to be on purpose because like the whole world's going to hell?
I know for a fact that the book, the source material that it was made from was really popular in Japan. So I guess like some of the event here is like most of people already know. But
I'm pretty sure that this series is only loosely tied to the novel.
all right.
Like, for example, it wasn't focused on these characters at all in the novel.
Yep.
I don't think that even Japanese audiences were expecting that rock to come down and brain that kid in episode
Alright.
6 at the end. I don't think anyone was
Yeah.
expecting that. That's not in the novel.
All right. All
I
right.
don't think the grandpa in the wheelchair shooting people with a bow and arrow
well he
was in the novel.
that was really how to call it. He was really drunk by then. He was like on the fake.
He was what?
He was like on drug.
Was he on drugs? Oh,
He
the
was on
painkillers?
the painkillers. Yeah. He was in influence.
Right. I mean, I need to get my hands on those drugs, because if they give me that sort of precision aiming ability, I mean, that's something that I could use. Then I wouldn't even have to work my job anymore. I could just go live in the woods and pop a few of those pills, then shoot a deer.
All right. So first thing
Just
first, I must say that the first episode was really good.
I thought it
It
was all right.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. That was like they focus on the four different characters, and then they sum up with like at the end it reveals that that they are in the same family, so we get like the first handed experience of their feeling of the earthquake. Um, the reason I say that is because the next few episode the show actually doesn't really focus on the characters. I don't know what the show focus on actually. Their survival. I don't know, man.
Yeah, their survival, I suppose, is as good a way to put it as any. Or rather, their lack of survival because the dad dies in episode 2, kind of hilariously.
Yeah. Well, they have like the whole singing stuff. Like the pretty um moody melody.
What is
Oh
this?
yeah. I remember there was a song when the dad hit the explosion.
You mean when he digs down and hits the mine because he's digging for yams?
Yep, and we saw like the song singing, and we hear the song singing, and we see like his hand, like just pop out
I don't even honestly. It's been so long. Well, it hasn't been so long, but I watched most of this. I watched it
in one
shortly after
try.
it came out, and
Yeah,
I don't remember any song. I just remember the dad kind of dying.
I remember there was like a really sick song
A
playing
sick
at the
song,
time. I
like
ju-
like really sad.
yeah, it's supposed to be sad. That's what I remember though.
I mean, I was just laughing. Honestly, this
Yeah.
this is a comedy for me. This series is a comedy. Um, so any character that's dying, no amount of sad music or whatever is gonna
Yeah.
make me care that much. Uh,
Um, yeah, that's the thing as well because remember like when the group first like got separated from the big group, they went
right. One
north.
wanted to go left and one wanted to go right.
Yep. There was a female member. Her name is Nanami, who's in there as well, and we don't have like any proper introduction of her. We just saw her like getting along with them, and then we saw a bit of her characters before she died. Like really quickly. Like we don't even know that she died at the time.
Yeah, we knew because she
So
walked into the gas, right? She's the
yeah,
one who
yeah,
got
yeah. But
assaulted at the gas station.
yeah, she the one who got assaulted at the gas station. Yes, and then afterwards she got the toxic. And it was happening so fast, and like she just get tossed away so quickly that
Yeah.
like her character feel just like just kind of a waste for me.
Yeah. I mean, somebody being killed. What was that? Episode 3, where she was killed.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
sure. The
Mm-hmm.
same one that introduces the
The
YouTube guy
Yep, the
who
the white
flies
hair guys.
down on like what are those things called? Where you sit in the seat and there's
Yeah,
like hang gliders. It's not a hang glider because you're not hanging from that bar.
yeah, I know what you
Paraglider.
mean. I have no idea.
He just flies down and decides to join their party. Like,
Yep, yep,
I don't understand that at all. I don't understand the means by which his character was introduced. He just happens to be flying over the main characters' heads, and he decides to land there and talk to them, and then gives up his flying machine. He just leaves it
yep,
and decides to start traveling with them.
yep.
Why? I can't remember.
Something along the line that the model want to um give the son to him to in order to for him to protect to lead him into the safe place, and somehow that got him into like joining with the gang.
Yeah, I don't
Remember?
understand that.
I don't
So
understand the logic behind that.
he's a YouTuber. He's a YouTube. I hate saying the word YouTuber. He's a YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
So that means his job is to make YouTube videos and stuff. That's how he maintains his livelihood because he's got all this money. I assume if he's got
Yeah.
this paraglider and he's just whimsically flying around, taking footage. Well, maybe it's just his job. I don't know. So why would he give that up? If that's his, is he going to make videos about this family and post them to YouTube?
Yep.
Is that ever explained or?
Nah, that's not even explained. But he just went for a thrill, He he got he think that that joining the group will be exciting. So he just joined it. I think it's like no real concrete the reason why he doing that.
Yeah, that seemed really silly to me.
Yeah.
Also silly was the when they go into the grocery. What was it?
The supermarket.
A shopping mall or
Yep.
some kind of store? It
Yeah,
wasn't. It wasn't like a grocery store exactly because they had clothes and things, right?
Yep. Yep.
Some kind of store. So they go into this store, and then the owner, the old racist man, shoots the kid with a bow and arrow.
Yep.
And then shortly thereafter, at the start of the very next episode, they're just he comes down and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it."
Yep.
Well, what do you mean you didn't mean it? You were moving around on the little balcony there on the second floor, trying to get the best shot you could to be as accurate as possible in killing people. That was the goal. You shot someone through the heart, or tried to.
Yep.
He was saved because of his Game Boy or whatever it was, but why was he then allowed to start traveling with them? Why didn't the mom, as soon as he came down and said, I didn't mean it, I'm so sorry. Why wasn't she like, "Come on kids, we're leaving"?
Well,
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that actually she did that, but the YouTuber said it's gonna be storming outside, so they decide to stay inside.
Okay, well then, how is he integrated into this group when he tried to kill her baby boy?
Because he showed remorse of his actions.
No, that doesn't.
I'm trying to defend the souls now.
It does not make any sense that he begins to travel together with them after he tried to kill them.
Yep. Well, and we haven't got into the Shan City section. It's just a big
Is
mess.
that the cult, the marijuana?
Yeah,
cult?
yeah. That's the one.
Well, that whole thing was just. That's where I stopped being disappointed in the show and just started enjoying it for what it was, which was completely nonsensical thrill ride.
Yeah, well, I still don't understand the idea behind the Science City, what the message they're supposed to be, the show is supposed to tell, because it tell the cities in the cold. They have the cold cultures. Everyone been following this one lady and the kid who doesn't talk, and everything we see is just blind faith, and we can sense something sinister behind that, but in the end, it's never really explored. It just and on top of that, they have the morphine and the marijuana, just circling around. I don't even get the reason behind all this, what the message they're supposed to tell.
You forgot the best part.
All right, what is the best part?
Daniel.
All right, yep. All right,
The
what
blonde,
about him?
the guy with the blonde afro and the
Yep.
and the googly eyes and stuff.
Yep.
If you want to talk about something that you're
That
you're
doesn't make
unsure
sense.
of as to its meaning, you know, its purpose within a story. How about his character? He just exists to be a gaijin for the old man to hate.
Yep.
And it seemed to me that the show was implying that the mom like wanted to get together with him or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. That one scene was really strange as well.
I don't understand how anyone could view him as a sexual prospect after he was doing all that stuff with those weird eyes and other body parts. I don't really get his character at all.
Yeah. I don't really get why. I think the only one reason why he was a foreigner, who speak like perfect Japanese from what I can tell, is that they supposed to tell the story of him because he from Yugoslavia, which is like it's not even exist anymore. So he doesn't have a home to go back to. So that's the only main reason why he was, like specifically from Yugoslavia. But apart from that, though, like he could be anyone. He could be a Japanese characters. He could be, yeah. I don't even know why he's there. To be honest.
I like him better as funny foreign man.
All right.
Because
Uh-huh.
he's I mean it's his character is like a perfect complement to the Shan City portion of the series. Like if he didn't exist, you'd be thinking, why is this really serious show spending all this time and in this weed cult? Why does any of this even matter? But when you see Daniel, you
Mhm.
realize, oh, so this is just completely, like batshit crazy. None of this matters, and Daniel's character is the proof. Okay, now I understand how to properly view and enjoy this series. That's what he did for me. So arguably, he was the most important character in the entire thing.
All right, and we haven't talked about the guy, the man who's like just stay in the hospital and who using the Morse code, and he turned out to be like some kind of really famous I don't know doctor or who
Onodera, right? I think his name is Onodera.
yeah, Unode, right, that's right.
Yeah, he's the guy who can predict where the earthquakes are, or
Yeah.
like when they're gonna happen and stuff.
Yeah, jeez.
So that's the whole reason for this cult story is that he's at the cult. So they have to rescue him because going forward he's going to be really important, because he's a scientist and stuff.
So
But
So-
why is he at the cult?
yep.
We never discover that.
Yep.
He just is there.
All right. Yep. I don't even know if the people there know he's Onodera, like the famous Onodera or not, and I don't even know if they try to imprison him or like they try to protect him or whatever reason. I have no idea.
Yeah. You would expect that after having been introduced to his character, that we would then understand, like the ultimate goal of the
Yep.
people running this operation. They were trying to use him for personal gain, or they were blackmailing the Japanese government by holding him hostage, or
Yep.
something. But no, he just is a paralyzed man, and he is there, and now our main
I
characters have him.
I was so frustrated in episode 5 when he tried to use the Morse code to the girl, and she just doesn't really know. She was like, "Why you blinking so much?" and left. I was
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I can understand why she
uh,
wouldn't understand. I can understand why she wouldn't understand. It's just
uh,
blinking, everybody blinks.
uh,
And just because he's blinking in a specific pattern, which she probably wasn't able to pick up on, doesn't mean it's a particular pattern. He could
yeah.
just be like kind of blinking, thinking
Alright.
to himself, "Help me."
Yep. All right.
I mean, she eventually figures it out,
All
right?
right.
In
So
episode 6, that happens, I think.
So tell me what the deal with the co-leader and the kid, and why that old man trying to save him. Just just tell me the like what behind all that, because I
I
don't really
can't
get any of
remember.
that.
Is this just what this our discussion of the series is going to be like? Trying to remember
All
what
right.
like the
Oh,
order of events and trying to remember
all
their
right.
significance if they have any.
All right. I will tell you like the basic event.
The
Grandpa.
grandpa had a grandson, right, or a grandchild,
Yeah.
and he was like, uh,
That that was
maybe
supposed.
maybe the kid is my grandchild or something.
All right. That was supposed to be a girl, and he knows that this boy isn't his grandchild. So he have like a grand children who was a girl, and I think who passed away, died for whatever reason. So he want to save this one in particular for some reason, and then he failed to do that, and then the child like at the end start talking, and then the rock fall into his head, and then he's die, and then like the co leader was so upset because apparently he was he was something, and
That was her son.
it was his. I'm
Yeah,
not really sure. All right,
yeah.
all
His
right,
very last words are "Thank you, mother,"
all right.
while he's looking at her, and then the big chunk of rock just falls from the ceiling and blam,
Oh my
just
god.
kills him instantly. Oh my gosh. Uh,
Yeah, I don't know what the
and then
deal
her
basically.
face, the woman's face after he dies, is so it's like it's like she's had a stroke and half of her face is paralyzed. She's supposed to seem like she's in shock, but instead it just looks like an animator error.
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh no.
I have no idea. Like I don't I can't even and is there power real?
I think it is supposed to be real, right? Because doesn't the grandpa ask for her to do a reading for him, like to
Yeah.
communicate and talk
So
to his dead grandchild, and she does it?
nah
Oh,
was he nah, I think that was Kite who take the glasses and give it to her to read, and she realized that the glasses was from Nanami, who handed to the main girl, to Ayumu.
at this point, I don't even know what you're talking about.
All right. Remember the classes?
No,
Remember. All right. Remember when the girl Nanami. Remember the
she's the
girl
one who died in the gas.
Yeah. Remember she was nearly get raped by a guy in the gas station.
Yeah, and she gives his glasses to
Yep.
um,
Yep.
what's his
To
face, the little kid.
Ayumu. Yeah. To Ayumu.
No, I thought
And
she gave them to Haruo.
Haru.
Yeah, the guy, the quiet
Was
guy who never talks.
Oh yeah, that's right, yeah, you are right. So
She
so
gives them to him, and that makes Ayumu jealous because she
Yep.
likes this dude for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason. So Kite took his glasses, give it that to the co-leader to see if she can read something, and she did. She just says something kind of the last word from Nanami to the girl. It's like that was my idea, so don't worry about that.
Okay, I don't remember any of that.
Yep. All right. Not that important details, but yeah. Well, I don't even know her power is supposed to be real or not. And why
It is
she
real.
use yeah
She
it's
tells the grandpa his grandchild's final words in
yeah
episode 6.
I think she did that.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was. She had a real power apparently. I
yeah
mean, I think that's what we're supposed. The show doesn't like lead us to believe that she's a fake.
yeah
Kite is certainly, the superhero YouTube man is certainly
Mm-hmm.
suspicious.
Yep.
But in episode 6, it's revealed that she can really talk to dead people, I guess.
Yep. All right.
But then she just dies
And
because she decides to stay behind and die in the, as the
yeah.
building collapses.
And the group getting bigger now. With it's not that bigger. The old man stay behind.
Does he
Daniel,
also die?
he will. I think he will. We didn't know that yet, but I think he will. Daniel
Yeah,
refused to come.
Right. But they got the scientist man, so the
Yeah.
group is...
Well,
They lost one and they gained one.
Yeah, I do think that the scientist guy, he doesn't say that he wanted to go there. They just, like, they thought it was a good idea just to, uh, kidnap him.
Just take him.
Take him, yeah, that's right.
I mean, he's probably important to the plot.
Yeah.
So, take him.
All right. And talking about that, the Haruo, he doesn't really have any real role at the moment for me. Like after 6 episodes, he just just there.
Well, he doesn't have a real role. The girl who died in the gas, she didn't have a real role.
Yeah.
Daniel had the most important role of all, of course, but in another sense, he doesn't have a real purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a strange show for me, I gonna watch it week to week until the end to see like how things wrap up. The things really wrap up after episode 10.
What do you mean? That's the final episode.
The final episodes. I mean like does everything wrap up? The story did wrap up?
Oh, you'll see.
All right. It's not helpful. All right.
You can just watch it all now. It's all available.
I better wait.
All right.
One thing I love though is the diversity of the characters. I love that the model is actually not the real Japan. She's from Filipino. She's Filipino.
Yeah.
I love that there are like someone like Daniel who like just kind of the white man there for some reason who can speak perfect Japanese and
love Daniel. Love diversity Daniel.
Yeah. A kite who actually like white hair and have like I think he's supposed to be from Estonia. I don't know why he can speak Japanese that perfect.
Because he's a YouTuber. They know every language.
Oh, that makes sense. So yeah.
I mean, sure, diversity is good. That'll save this story.
Yeah, maybe that's like the best thing that I can give for the show right now. Diversity.
The best thing is that it's hilarious.
My God.
Were you not laughing while the grandpa was shooting those arrows and killing people?
Yeah,
from his wheelchair, like spinning around, and
yep.
one of the people who he shot them, and then there were like 4 frames of the guy collapsing to the ground, just in like the most wooden fashion imaginable. I lost it as I was watching that scene. I laughed so hard I had to rewind. This is comedy of the year for me.
All right.
Honestly.
Cool.
It's really the funniest show I've seen this year.
All right. You have any other things you want to talk about?
I mean the last 4 episodes, but you got to watch them.
All right. Is it getting better?
You'll find out.
Is it getting more hilarious?
Oh, it stays hilarious.
Right.
I'll say that.
That's still good.
I mean, I do think that episodes 5 and 6 are the peak of the show's comedy.
Yeah.
With the kid dying and the ridiculous face that the mother pulls after he dies, and the grandpa in the wheelchair, and everything having to do with Daniel and
the random earthquake. I don't even know why it it sink. Like we saw no sign of the sinking before until like the scientist guy said that it will sink, it will have an earthquake, and then like bam, on that night that happens, everything
Right.
falls.
Well, it's probably like an aftershock, right? This
Maybe,
was like the
but
biggest earthquake in history or something. So
yeah.
they're going to be aftershocks. I mean, I don't know anything about earthquakes. I forget everything I learned in school. Um, but I don't know.
Yeah.
There's an earthquake.
Yeah.
There are going to be more earthquakes.
Cool. All right.
So enjoy.
Let's move on to decadence.
Sure.
All
7
right.
episodes are out. I've seen
Yep.
all of them.
I have seen all of them. And all right, we did talk briefly about that in our state of the season post. So I have a pretty good idea that how you stand on the show. But can you just like elaborate more on that?
Sure, I'm eating a banana. Hope that's okay.
Go on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this show's a pretty big disappointment. I don't really care about any of the characters.
Yep.
I mean, I did like the relationship between Natsume and Kaburagi I think his name is Kaburagi.
Yep.
In the first episode, because she's the plucky young wannabe hero, and he's the old man who's like too old for this shit. That's his role, and she eventually wears him down. And they develop a small bond. So that was cool. Episode 1 was fine. I mean, we talked about it during our first impressions episode, like 3 episodes ago, 6 weeks ago, something like that. That was fine, and the action carried it through. Good background design and all that. So in the second episode, there's the big twist. Decadence is really just an MMO that's being played by robot aliens or something. And by the end of that episode, Kaburagi, like his entire view of Natsume, it has shifted completely. Like he keeps saying, and this has happened probably at least once per episode since episode 2, she saved me. She saved me. She saved me. How did she save him? I don't understand that. I mean, she has a similar personality to Mikey, who's the guy, the robot alien guy who was playing Decadence, and they were working together, and Kaburagi gives him information on how to remove his limiter, which ends up getting him killed. Do I have that right?
Yeah, I think you got it right.
So I assume that he feels guilt over Mikey's death. Or wait, it's not, does he die in battle, or is he killed by the mega corporation?
It's either way. I don't remember much. I think he died from he's not died from the battle. He died from the action.
From
the corporation, like trying to destroy him.
Right. Okay, so that actually makes it now it makes even less sense in my mind why he thinks Natsume saved him, because I assume that he feels guilty over Mikey's fate, because he was the one who taught him how to remove his limiter, so he messed up Mikey's life. And now Natsume has come along and given him like a second chance, I guess, at redemption, because now he can make sure that he doesn't make the same mistakes with Natsume, like I guess train her more honestly and try to fight the system alongside her.
I think it's more of the fact that she opened his eyes, because she's someone who he been living in the logic that if there is a bug you need to destroy it, so he followed the system. And Natsume is someone who basically outside of that system. She was declared dead before when she was a child, and she was something that like kind of exceptional for him because she just doesn't follow the rule.
Yeah, I mean they don't. She's not recognized by the system.
Yep, yep,
You know, this show is all about the system, and
yep.
Kaburagi wants to take down the system. But that seems very vague to me.
That is fake. That is a bit fake.
And so
Yeah.
how is it that Natsume has saved him? I don't like she's given him purpose. What is that?
Uh,
What is that purpose?
she just opened his eye. Basically, she the one who considered a bug, but she wanted to like give her best to try to fight as well, and that I think that's give Kaburagi a purpose of like trying to train her and to see how far she could go.
So this is yet another series where the main character, by, going ganbare and trying their best and wanting to get stronger, inspires everyone around them. And saves them, as we hear nonstop from Kaburagi. You saved me. I mean, in the most recent episode when he's pretending not to be Kaburagi,
Yep.
he says to her as someone else, "Don't you think that you saved Kaburagi?" And, she starts to cry.
I, well, I thought the whole thing was heartwarming. Still think so.
I don't understand their relationship. I don't get it.
Yep. All right. I can see that. I can see why you don't really sold on their relationship.
I mean,
Um,
if the parallels between her and Mikey were more obvious, and if we had gotten if we knew more about Kaburagi's backstory, like if there had been, instead of just half an episode dedicated to, him being a ranked player and playing alongside Mikey, and then that whole situation like going to hell. And if Mikey had like been a real character and we had understood the bond that existed between Kaburagi and Mikey, and then we recognize over time that Natsume is like a carbon copy of this guy basically, then I could be like, oh, now I understand why Kaburagi is so invested in her. But instead, it's just coincidence. Like her heart stopped when she was a kid, and so the system doesn't recognize her anymore. And I don't even know what that entails. What does it mean for her to be a bug? What is, like, the system can still surveil her, because we see in a particular episode that Kaburagi is watching her from his little alien world.
Yep. But they
Like-
they fail to analyzing her. Oh,
What would they
Right.
find if they analyze her?
a bug.
But what does it mean? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything.
That's right. The job of killing bug is only for Karaburi to do. So like any other characters, when they don't see Natsume at bug. You get
You
what
mean
I
like the other ranked players, or
all
the other-
others, all other characters, like even the robot aliens.
yeah,
When-
that's what I mean.
Yep, it's just Kaburagi because his job is to like destroy and collecting bugs. So nah, he's the only one who really care that Natsume as a bug.
Yeah, I still okay.
Yep. All right. That's my reason that I don't know how I gonna solve that, but
I mean, this show just seems to be very like, the message is the system is bad. The system views like exceptional people or people who are different as bugs.
Yep.
And that is bad. And so Natsume and Kaburagi good, and robot alien system bad. And there's really not any nuance to it.
all right. Don't you find like the whole world building is refreshing for once?
I mean, by world building, I assume you mean the fact that there's two different worlds,
Yep.
and yeah, I mean that's cool, and the fact that there are two different art styles, the show
Yep.
keeps it, they mix it up.
Yep.
That's cool, but I just don't. I mean, neither one of those worlds makes seems to run on any particular logic, at least not that I can recognize.
Mhm.
It they're just kind of cool looking. Um,
Mhm.
and so when the show is not cool looking, then suddenly it has nothing going for it for me. Because Natsume, like her relationship with her friend Faye, like
Yeah.
I don't care about that at all.
Yep.
Because the dynamic is just like Natsume she wants to get stronger. She just hates. She said multiple times, "I just hate the current version of me. I wish I had more confidence. I wish I were stronger. And I just want to get stronger." And Faye's like, "Yeah, but you don't have to though."
Yep.
That's all there is to their relationship. Just that dichotomy right there.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm not really interested in that. And
Don't you
I don't know.
find like Karabugi being he changed the story so that he was punished, and he find himself into like the very the very low end of the world, where like he basically had to face those physics, like literally have
He has to what?
to he have to do something with the physics, like put them into the power things.
Are you saying feces? Like poop?
Yeah, poops. That was poop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're talking about the whole thing where he's in the correctional facility.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Don't you
Yeah.
find that refreshing? Because I find the idea is actually really hilarious.
I mean, I I didn't think much of it. And mostly it reminded me of Kaiji season 2,
All
where he's
right.
in the underground mine, like the mining camp.
All right.
Um,
Huh.
so I
Interesting.
wasn't that interested in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish that the show, like as interesting as it is that there are two different worlds going on
Uh-huh.
here, in parallel.
Yeah.
I think the show would have been more successful if there had just been one.
Mhm.
Of course, then it's an entirely different series. Then it's not Decadence. Then it's just, an Attack on Titan ripoff, which it still is,
Yeah.
at least in part. But um,
All right.
I mean, at least then there could have been some focus on like the characters, maybe.
All right.
Um, I don't know. So you're into the Natsumi and Kaburagi like relationship and
Yeah.
the two different
The-
I mean, where do you think the show's going? So we learn at the end of episode 7. I mean, we could have predicted this beforehand because he wants to destroy the system and everything, but
Yep.
his goal is to take down the system.
Yep. All right. I don't know how, but he eventually gonna gonna do it.
He's gonna destroy the system
He,
and
he,
set
he
all the
definitely
bugs
gonna
free.
destroy the system. I don't know how though, because I don't know how he gonna get up from like being down there. Like the it was established that they can't really climb up or do anything. So interesting to see how can he do that. Maybe he
Yeah,
just
actually, I think
like
that might be pretty cool.
climb through
Like,
all the pieces and like get back on top.
maybe they'll actually use the poop to create like shields or something, so they can resist the water pressure and get up
From
to
the
the
poop.
Gadol, because where they're headed is the Gadol generation factory, right,
Oh,
which is above the
he
correctional
actually
facility.
he actually could fly.
He could
He
what?
he actually can fly. He actually have like the thingy like that he could the jet. I remember
Oh, he has a
like
jetpack in his robot
yeah
body.
yeah I remember like he did use that when he do the when he challenge the other guy.
Donatello.
Yep.
I love Donatello's voice actor. I don't know the guy's name,
All right.
but Whenever his voice pops up, I love it because he voices like the big hulking guy in Hajime no Ippo in
Yep.
like the higher weight class. He just has such a comedic, like rumbly voice. He's like
Mm.
he's like a big he's like a huge teddy bear. Um, I don't know the guy's name because I don't really know voice actors like that, but he's cool. I like him just because of his voice. uh, what I don't understand is why he still has the ability to use his jetpack. Wouldn't they have disabled that when they brought him into the correctional facility?
Mm,
Why wouldn't
maybe.
they like remove that?
No idea.
Well, I mean, if he didn't have it, he couldn't fight the system, you know.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yep.
he's got to keep it
Uh,
so he can fight the system.
others, others who could just totally forgot that he could, like fly, using his chest pack, and
Well,
like do something clever about that.
there was some line of dialogue about the fact that they can't leave the correctional facility because it's like underwater, right?
Yeah, it's underwater, but I
And
think
if they
it
try
was
to leave, they'll be crushed by the because they're so deep
yeah.
under the surface, so they can't get out.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
But I think that is going to be interesting, seeing how they get from where they are up to the Gadol factory. Like if the show just spends all its time in one location and doesn't, flip over to the decadence side of things,
Mhm.
too often, and it mostly stays with Kaburagi, and there's like kind of a heist, theme, like
Yep.
uh, that might be cool if they spend all their time focusing on that. Tell a story about how an unlikely group of robot outcasts make their way up to the monster factory and shut it off and save the world. So that's
Yep.
kind of interesting.
I kind of like the many settings of the show so far. So we see like a lot of like different settings, and while it's not as rich as I would hope, but I still find like all these like they are really look different from other settings. So like it's kind of fun to see like how they exist in the same series.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah,
that's why I'm watching
yeah.
because it looks it's different.
Yeah, it is different. And unlike you, I like both the characters. I like how Kaburagi not like struggle to like to reconcile basically with the girl, and want to fight the system. I love all that. I love all that shit.
Awesome. All right. You have any other thoughts on Decadence?
Definitely like one of the favorite show that I watched in this season.
You have any other
Maybe
favorites?
maybe if it would, yeah, maybe it would end up on my top 10 of the year. We will see.
Oh man, I mean,
Um,
it's directed by Tachikawa, so I
yeah.
was thinking that it would, be pretty. Yuasa fucked up this season with Japan Sinks, and then now we got this from Tachikawa after Mob Psycho 100 last year. Now we have
Yeah.
this, so
Well,
this
I still
is
love this though. I still don't see that as a failure or
right,
anything.
right. Yeah, so for me, this has been a year of like disappointments. I mean,
Mm.
for my personality, the way that I view things, every year is a year of disappointments.
Yeah,
But
true.
um, I mean, yeah, Decadence at least is not, you know, it's not too boring.
Hmm.
It's all right. It stays interesting. How about some other series that you're watching? What else is interesting for you
All
this
right.
season?
I still following Oregairu 3, and I would say it's not as good as the season 2, but it is close. I like all the characters. All the characters have like some big development, character development at the moment, and I like how the show, the direction of the show, how it goes so far. So everything is a plus for me, like emotionally as well.
I mean, I saw a, Lenlo capped out the subtitles of a particular point in some recent episode, and like it was
Yeah.
something about how some girl is like wicked and stuff. And
All right.
personally, that's like why I can't really deal with Origairu, is because it's the situations that the characters find themselves in are pretty ordinary, I think.
Yep.
And it makes mountains out of molehills. Like, it's gonna call this character wicked, but what's the context there? What has she done that's so terrible?
I have no idea what Lenlo pull up, so I gonna take a pic. I gonna see that pictures later on. So I
Do you
have no
remember
idea.
any line like that from the show? Like,
No.
you'll fall in love with her wickedness or something like that?
All right. Huh. Because there is literally like 5 or 6 girls in the show. Not really sure which one they're referring to.
Okay, well, I can read it. You'll eventually get addicted to all the trashiness and wickedness in her. I think this is a line having to do with Iroha.
Maybe Iroha. Oh, maybe Iroha. Yes.
So what has she
alright.
done that's so trashy and so wicked?
She doesn't do anything. She a bit of a manipulative person. That's it, man.
Yeah, that's the
she's
thing.
cool,
That's
she's
why
cool.
I can't. That's why I don't watch Origairu. It's because like one character is mildly selfish or something, and all of a sudden it's like a huge fucking deal.
Yeah,
Dude, this
she's
is high
like,
school, man. Like your life has barely even started. This, there's no reason for you to be so sad or so trashy or wicked or to describe someone that way.
come on.
Um,
It's a great show. Everyone, don't listen to Whooper. Watch it.
hey, if you're into it, go for it. I mean, my favorite anime of 2017 was about 2 middle schoolers clumsily falling in love. It's all about your personal preferences and
Yep.
and the direction of the show in question.
All right, Whooper. So what other show that you watch?
What, me this season?
Yep, this season's.
I am watching The God of High School, which is
Mhm.
it's pretty messy.
Right.
But I like the fights. The fights are pretty neat.
Yeah, the fight are really cool. I agree.
I mean, you dropped out on the marriage episode 4, which
Right.
I respect 100%. That episode
God.
was just dumb as hell. But episode 7, I will say, has a really neat looking fight scene in it with like animated backgrounds.
All right. I say though because I watched 4 episodes of it. I remember in episode 3 or 2, I think 3, when the main guy fight against one of these one of these guy from
Is it the
from
villain with the dreadlocks?
no, not this one, like the one afterward. So he fights against some guys, and the guy after he lose, he just lash out. He lose control, and he like summon like one of the like stand characters. And
Oh yes.
I feel like it is it like JoJo Bizarre Adventure.
I mean, that's the comparison that everyone makes. I've resisted making that comparison in my own posts on it because it's so hackneyed and obvious. Like,
All right,
yes,
yeah.
it looks like they've got little psychic spirit guys
Yeah.
who are going to do their fighting for them. Yeah, it's as the show goes on, more and more characters bust those out in combat.
But I mean like does that make the whole battle look worse? Like when they do on the martial act, it actually kind of could look better, much better than like these chance monster fighting against each other, right?
I mean, yeah, I like the martial arts part, but there's in episode 7, the one I was just talking about. There's a pretty spectacular, like long battle sequence, which is
Alright.
cut up into segments throughout the entire episode, and they involve some of those big creatures or whatever they are, like aura, battler,
Right.
spirit summon things.
Right.
And they they managed to make them look pretty neat. Like there are gigantic dragons and weird blobby
Mhm.
monsters with like 10 different eyes and all that. I mean, I'm in it for the animation mostly. And one thing that I do appreciate it is that it is. I mean, obviously it's like a shonen fighting anime, but it
Mhm.
does not like it's not. It doesn't drag its feet. They
Mhm.
don't spend like an entire episode explaining the power system,
Mhm.
and they don't get bogged down too much in the backstories of the characters. I mean, in a recent episode, they actually did do that, and it was annoying.
Mhm.
But mostly, they're just like just pushing through material to get to the next fight. So I mean, I appreciate that the series just doesn't it doesn't feel in general like it wastes my time. Now, I mean, the characters being kind of uh, dumb. Like, for example, at the end of episode 4, which is where you dropped it, you get the scene of Han De-wee, like, beating Mira bloody. Did you see that?
No, no, I didn't even get past that. Sorry.
Oh, did you not watch the whole episode?
No, I did. I dropped out halfway.
Okay. At the end of episode 4, there's a fight between De-wee and Mira.
Yep.
Um, and he's, like, savagely beating her. And that's the
All
note
right.
that the episode ends on.
Huh.
It's
All right.
bizarre. The way they explain it is so strange and doesn't make a lot of it. I mean, you understand why he did it afterwards, but it
Yep.
doesn't feel right. Like the explanation that the show provides does not feel true,
Mhm.
because in all other instances, it's trying to develop a bond between these three main characters. Because eventually, it moves to the next phase of the tournament, which is where they're all a team
Mhm. Mhm.
and there are team fights. So, I mean, the show doesn't care too much for its characters, even though it does, end some episodes with them, like, with their arms slung around each other's shoulders and they're all, like, laughing or hanging out. Um, Even though it uses those types of images and moments to
Mhm.
close out scenes, it really doesn't care about the characters very much. It's all about the action.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so ordinarily not the kind of show I would watch, but it's
Mhm.
as a spectacle, I'm enjoying it kind of. With every week I'm a little less impressed with it, I guess, but whatever.
All right. Are you still watching Five Fox?
Yeah, I've
Wow. All
seen through
right.
episode 6 of that, and it's okay. I mean, I don't really have anything to say about it. It's fine. They introduce a pink-haired character who has like precognitive abilities,
Mhm.
and that's always been one of the most interesting parts of Fire Force to me is the metaphysical aspect of it. Like the idea that this alternate dimension with the black flames exists,
Mhm.
and some characters are like tapped into that.
Yep.
So they did something interesting with that, with a new character who can like see the future, kind of, and
Mhm.
they present the idea in a way that feels really fresh.
Mhm.
But apart from that, you know, I don't know if I'm going to make it through the entire second season. It's not great.
All right. I'm still watching ReZero as well, and you know that the reception have been really good on the show so far. I'm so right with that. Subaru has been repeated his death circles, that restart all over again, for a few episodes now. It getting good. Um, Not necessarily is something that within my range. So that I'm still watching it. I'm not totally head over heels over it like some other anime watchers.
Is Subaru still suffering?
Yeah. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
He has to suffer.
Right. Yes. That does seem to be something that anime fans love. They love suffering.
Yeah.
But if you ask them why, uh, they probably don't know.
Yeah.
They will probably say that it's epic, or hype, or something.
Or deep.
Use a oh yeah, deep. That's a good one. Compelling. Another one.
Yeah.
Quality, also
Gut
a very important
gut
buzzword.
wrenching.
The yes, all of these. Uh, yeah, I haven't. I don't watch ReZero. I couldn't get through the first season. It was just
Yeah.
so indulgent.
Yeah. Well, it's alright. I actually like for once. The last episode, I found the dialogue between like all the character actually pretty good, because normally I don't like the dialogue of ReZero. But yeah, to say that it's like one of the best thing, like for the last few years now.
What?
A lot of people have been claiming that.
Oh, what? This season of ReZero is like one of the best anime in recent
Uh,
years.
all right. One of the best anime of this season at least.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure, and I'm sure that when we do, our anime of the year type stuff,
Yep.
it'll get voted really high up there. But I mean, I'm gonna by not voting for something, you you reduce hopefully
chance.
its overall standing. Yeah, like for example, when you don't vote for Attack on Titan, you at least can keep it out of the number 1 spot or the number 2 spot.
Yeah, but it's still on your number 10 on the top tens.
Right. Well, I'm just thinking about last year where it came in 8th for
Right.
2019.
Yeah.
We managed to do that, but I'm sure it'll. Well, I mean, there's a new animation house working on it this year. Not that I expect that to make too much difference. I mean, assuming that a lot of the workers on it were freelance.
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
I mean, Wit Studio isn't handling it anymore. It's going to be Mappa.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, for the 4th and final season.
All right, I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah. And a lot of people, of course, people are pissed off about it. And I mean, the same people who are mad about it are the ones who don't really care about animation studios and don't really care about anime. They just care about Attack on Titan.
Well, I love Wish Studio. I actually have more respect of Wish Studio than Mappa.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Of course, I'm right there with
But
you. Wit
but
they're awesome.
yeah, but
Koi wa Ameagari.
yep.
I mean, I didn't like Ancient Mage's Bride very much, but the backgrounds were just like so
Yep.
beautiful looking. And I doubt that they were handled by Wit Studio now that I think about it.
Um, but the way that Mappa had been handled the God of High School, especially for the fight sequences, I think they have a good chance, of
Well, I mean,
successfully
that's
adapting it.
yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean, something that we've that the Western anime fandom has learned in recent years is that it doesn't matter so much where something is animated, because most animators are freelance workers.
Yep. Yep.
So in the case of the God of High School, it's the director Park, who has been able to attract a lot of really talented animators to work on the series.
Mhm.
And it was the same for Tachikawa when he was, I suppose. For Mob Psycho 100, like, yeah, it's being animated by Bones, but it wasn't done just by a bunch of people who get up and go to work at Studio Bones' office 9 to 5 every day.
Mhm.
Got a lot of freelancers working on it. So
I would say it's from 5 to 9, from 5
Oh,
a.m. to 9
yeah.
p.m.
Good point. Good point. I mean, this is anime we're talking about.
Yeah.
And speaking of anime, I guess we can talk about what else we've been watching this season, if anything.
All right. I still following Apparent Ramen from the leftover from the last seasons.
Right.
It just been like like one of these watch it that I don't really have much to say. So it doesn't waste my time, but it doesn't really leave any of the impact. Thankfully, though, the last episode was actually it best. It had some like it gives some emotion, character emotion to the main characters that I always feel they lack of. They feel like a robot to be. So
That's good.
yeah. So I hope that like it can keep that going for the rest of its run.
I mean, it's a shame that you had to wait like
7,
4.5
6
months.
for this.
If we consider the fact that it started airing at the beginning of
Yeah.
the spring season, now we're midway through summer. you had to wait 4.5 months roughly to get an episode where the characters actually,
Function
felt
like
important.
characters. Well, for that, I must say that I didn't really expect the show to be, like that, to reach that. So it was kind of like like a pleasant surprise for me.
Ah, just like a
Already.
bonus.
Yep, that's right.
Well, I intend to give that show another run, I think, at some point,
Yep.
before the
I,
year's over.
Yeah,
But
I don't think
I
you
didn't-
really dig that out.
I didn't like episode 1 very much, so.
Yep. It get into like episode 4 or 5 for the Roy to start again. So
Yeah.
I see no point, if you just one if you just want to watch it for the Royce, you have to wait for a bit.
All right. Well, I mean, if everything else sucks worse, then I'll keep on with it. But
Yep. All right. Is there any other show that you watch?
yeah, Hokago Table Nishi, which is the fishing girls show.
Yep.
It's pretty light, pretty fluffy. Not
Good.
much to say about it, really.
All right.
I'm watching that though, and apart from that,
Yeah.
I think that's probably it. I mean, I'm watching
Wow.
other like ongoing stuff like Super Shiro,
Mhm.
and I finished the Pokemon Twilight Wings ONA recently.
All right.
I had a lot of
Pokemon.
yeah. It's
Is
like
it
a
good?
7-episode OVA,
Yep.
and all the episodes are like 6 minutes long or something.
All right. All right.
So the animation looks really nice. The backgrounds are, really pretty. It was okay.
Mhm.
That's about it.
All right. This is an
This summer's just a bit of a letdown.
yeah.
But at least
yeah,
you have
I-
Origairu.
That's right. That's right. Yep. I have been using this season to watch some of the older anime as well, but yeah.
Yeah, same here.
It's-
We're watching Sailor Moon.
So good, Sailor Moon.
I'm enjoying it. I'm actually really enjoying it.
You know, right? It's like the like one of the very anime that like when people talking about anime that it show up.
Yeah, it's like a gateway anime for a lot of people.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm also watching Yu Yu Hakusho. So these are like a shoujo and a shonen, both from 1992, and I vastly prefer Sailor Moon. Yu Yu Hakusho just bores
Ooh.
me.
Wow.
But I mean, Sailor Moon has the better animation, for
Yep.
sure, and the more fun characters. It's really campy,
All right. Yep. Now you can see the reason why Ikuhara wanted to make like another show like this.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
gonna. I plan. That's one of the reasons I'm watching it. I'm pushing through the early episodes so I can get to the Ikuhara directed stuff.
Right.
But even the early episodes are good, I think.
But how many episodes for that show? I would say a lot.
Well, the first season is 46 episodes,
Right.
so
Yeah.
you just do one a day, I guess.
Yep. And Ikuhara like didn't show up until like second or third season, right?
Something like that. I don't know.
Yep. All right.
I
Good
mean,
luck.
I'm just liking it right now as it is. So
Yep. Yeah, I remember watching Sailor Moon a little bit when I was a child. So like really, really, really long time ago. So I remember only character faces. I don't remember much of a plot though. So
well, so far there isn't one. It's just been 11 different Monster of the Week episodes so far.
all right. So
But,
it's kind of fun to rewatch it someday. Maybe,
Yeah, I mean-
maybe in the future when I have like kid, when I have girl, I watch it.
Yeah,
with
maybe.
her.
I'm sure she'll love it. And then you can go ahead. You can pause the video and go frame by frame during the transformation sequences and explain to her what Sakuga is.
That's right. All right. Let's move on to Pluto.
Okay.
5.
Volume 5. So one more super robot is dead.
Yep. To be
But
expected.
yeah,
Hercules.
but one that we thought was dead, or the series tried to convince us was dead, is actually alive.
Is that Atom?
Yeah, because
well,
Dr. Tenma comes
obviously,
back and fixes him.
yeah. Obviously, we all know that he's gonna be back.
Right. To me, the everything
yeah.
having to do with Tenma, I think, was probably the best part of this
All right.
volume.
All right.
Especially the flashback to the dinner that he had with Adam.
Yep.
There was that panel looking at both of them in profile,
Yeah.
and between them, like through the glass, was the ocean.
Mhm.
That panel really illustrated to me like how wealthy Tenma was. Like he had everything. He had this state-of-the-art home overlooking, with an ocean view, and this food was made for him. This like delicious-looking dinner, probably by robots. And he had a son, a robotic son, but a son nonetheless, who was like really content with life.
Mhm.
And yet he viewed it all as an illusion, and he was
Yep.
deeply unhappy.
Yep.
And I thought it was interesting that he kept saying that his son, Tobio, hated he hated cleaning his room, and he hated studying. He hated this food, and he hated his father. Tenma kept using that word hate, and not coincidentally, I think that's hatred is also like
the main theme.
Yeah, well, he says that negative emotions are what's necessary to create like a perfect AI, like really strong, polarizing emotions. And I think that opinion of his is probably rooted in the fact that he longs for the more complicated, more polarizing emotions of his dead son.
Yep.
And he's not happy with his creation, with Adam, who is too accepting and too content with life.
Yeah. I'm not really sure that he meant, but what he meant is by negative feelings. I think he meant more like extreme feelings, which is usually like negative. But yeah, I do feel like that's more into like extreme feeling than just hatred and all these negative feeling that he felt.
Yeah, he says extreme. He also says negative. He also says polarizing. So that perhaps that could include strong emotions on both sides of the spectrum.
Yep. So I think it also like I like the fact that like this volume they had said a lot about the hatchet themes. From Gear 6, we can see like the flashback of him killing a person because of hatchet. We're not sure that that was like really real flashback or not. I figure it was real.
I think it is, yeah.
Yep. And like all the hatches they say about like what creating Pluto. So I think Pluto is like the perfect creation that Tenma did.
Yeah, I mean we know that much at this point.
Yep.
Tenma created Pluto for Darius.
Yeah,
right.
And then it just can't wake up. But now that like only negative feeling from the world get into Pluto, it gives him a form and it wakes him up. So I think it's kind of like everything kind of put together now.
I don't think so.
Makes sense now.
No.
I still have no idea about the teddy bear though.
I mean, what was the deal with the very last shot of this volume in chapter 39?
It doesn't make any freaking sense.
The picture of the man in the field of flowers.
Yep.
Could this be Pluto?
Yep.
It's just more complications from Urasawa. He doesn't want anything to be simple.
Yeah, it just.
So that was an image that it was transmitted from Heracles.
Yep.
during
Yep.
his fight against Pluto. So Epsilon picks it up and relays it to Gesicht, and now they can both ponder over it for a volume. While
For how many more volumes? Or
I don't know how many there are, 9 or something, 8, 9.
yeah, 8 volumes.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I still don't understand what Pluto is really.
Yeah. Well, I still think it's like the collective souls of like only feeling of hatred and and whatnot from the world. So it's like the anti-world basically story.
Yeah, I'm sure that Urasawa is anti-war. Um, I don't. It seems that Pluto was commissioned by King Darius, the king of Persia.
Yep. Yep.
But who controls him now? I can't remember that dude's name. It's not
Uh,
Goji. Goji is the guy who breaks into Ochanomizu's house.
I think it's the other guy, the guy who he also the doctor or something.
Right. His name starts with an A, I think.
Roosevelt, is that him? This,
Roosevelt?
yep,
No,
that's ringing the
that's the
bell.
name of an American president.
All
Isn't
right,
Roosevelt a teddy bear or something?
all right.
I don't
No.
know.
Yep. Not him.
We haven't seen because the guy who we're both thinking of is like Pluto's handler. We see him talking to Pluto at one point when he's in like his water form in that lake in the park,
Yep. Yep.
and
Yep.
he's
Yep.
like, "I thought I told you to kill Gesicht," or something like that.
That's the one.
So that dude, whoever Pluto's handler is, we haven't seen him for like 3 volumes or something,
Yeah.
2 or 3 volumes.
Yep. It feels like forever.
Isn't he kind of important? Shouldn't he be part of the story? Or
Well,
did Urasawa get bored of him and was like, I'll pick that story thread back up later. Right now,
yeah.
we need
He
some
will.
KKK
He will come back.
allegories. There was I remember writing something down. Let me see if I can find it. About the idea that Pluto is a collective soul.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. It was chapter 33, which is the one that's about Heracles and Epsilon. And Heracles is like flashing back to the war, and he remembers that that robot that kept washing his hands, trying to get how some people try to wash bloodstains out of their hands in war
Yep.
movies, and they can't do it. It was the same idea.
Mhm.
So Heracles claims that what he's about to fight is not a single robot, but he's about to fight their ghosts, as in
Yep.
the ghosts of all the the robots that were killed.
The ghost of all the robots that wash their hands.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
The ghosts of the robots that can no longer wash their hands because they were
Yep.
destroyed in an unjust war. But I mean, Heracles saying that what he's about to fight is their ghosts. Kind of supports the thematic idea that Pluto is not
Yep.
a single robot consciousness, but is a like a hive mind of artificial intelligences.
Well, but that actually is yeah, he can either be a collective shows, or all this negative feeling. It's just like the thing to kick off to make him like wakes up again. So it can be either way, I think.
Yeah, I don't really understand the whole wake up part. I don't really
All right,
get it. I mean, I know that he was programmed, and the programming was too complicated. He wouldn't wake up, but
Yep. I think the way that they wake up will be like a nightmare, when
The what?
something that a nightmare, well,
Oh.
waking up from a nightmare, like like something bad really happened. You just like kind of kicks off.
Right. You just wake up in a cold sweat.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the concept, I guess. I just don't get what it would have looked like, or I mean, we
Yep.
don't know.
Yeah, we
Because
don't
Pluto
know.
is still a mystery.
And even Atom, like I think he eventually will wakes up. I don't know how he will,
Well,
because
there's that
if
whole conversation about, oh, we're going to need to wake him up with negative emotions too, or
yeah,
strong emotions.
and that's kind of interesting to see, like if that gonna affect item in the future.
I mean, the thing that I don't really
Like,
understand is robots having emotions in the first place.
yep,
The series
and
would have to do a lot of exploration on that topic for me to really get what's going on with
yeah,
Pluto.
and I think the manga, this is Pluto manga, have been like trying their best to explore that from many angles. Like we see in this volume, like the two robot parents, like grieving a robot child,
Right.
and they also say, like, because like next door there was like a real human who was crying, and they was like, is that what they humans supposed to do when they lost their child? And they said like they feel the feeling as well. So
That's what I
um
don't get.
yep,
That's what I don't get. How, just the
how they
concept of
feel.
robots feeling. I
Yep,
don't understand. I mean, because we don't live in that world yet.
yep, yep,
Um, so I don't really understand that.
yep.
How
Well,
would someone program emotion? I mean,
well,
how would that possibly work? I mean,
yep. I
when you
understand.
think
Yep.
about a video game with like a morality system where you
Yep.
do good stuff and your character, you know,
Hmm.
like the story branches off into two directions and your character might become, a hero or a villain, I guess, to put it simply, based
Yep.
on the choices that you make. All of those types of games they end up being like so simple. You can just, like kill everyone and then you get the bad ending, or you can save everyone and do all the side quests and you get the good ending. Like I don't understand how you replicate the nuances of like human
Yeah.
consciousness, like the aspects of our existence that make people think that we have souls. How do you program that into a robot? I don't.
Yep. Uh, I'm all I can say is that all the robots here in this manga are too advanced that they can experience feeling as well. So that is like what established in that world
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So we just have to roll with it, I think.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yep. Um, what interesting is we still don't know the true form of Pluto. We know that he have horns.
I mean,
We
is that really that interesting? It's obvious that Urasawa just wants to keep us in the dark and keep
Yep.
giving us new information, but none of it really
You're
matters until he comes out and
yeah, you're right.
just tells us what the hell's going on. It's the same as 20th Century Boys. Oh, who is friend? Who could this mysterious friend person be? Oh, I'm not going to tell
You
you who friend is.
you know what? Even I who was reading the whole thing still not sure who friend was. That
Really?
how that how complicated everything is.
Yeah, well,
Be-
doesn't sound
because
like
of
my kind of story.
Yeah, because supposedly you want a minor spoiler, or you want to read the
Sure.
whole
Yeah,
thing
I
later.
don't care.
Because supposedly the friend that they found wasn't the real friend, like someone intimate someone just tried to pretend to be friend.
Imitate.
Yeah, imitate. And then the real friend is like some other guy that like revealed in the last chapter, which it is vague as heck. I don't even know who's the real friend was.
Yeah, maybe we will never find out what Pluto is.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. I
Yes, Sasuga Urasawa-san, just as you'd expect from the master.
Yeah. Never a straightforward things. You have to like, work your ways, think up multiple levels.
Um, you know what chapter I liked was Uran. You know, the when she
Oh
keeps going
yeah.
around and
Yep.
she's like sensing sadness. And
Yep.
she goes up to that old woman. She's like, "Your dog is sad because you're not walking it enough." Eh.
That's cool, you know. I think that the best ways he can do right now to cope with the loss of Atom, and I think that was really good.
Yeah, I like Uran's character.
Yep.
I mean, she would be the one who would be most impacted by Adam
Dead. Yep.
dying. Yeah. Well, I mean, apart from like Tenma, perhaps, and maybe Ochanomizu, but
yeah, at least Tenma doesn't show any sign of sad when Atom dead.
he doesn't show any signs. But
Yep.
he does fix him. Kind of. It appeared to me, based on his conversation with Ochanomizu, that what he had done was like halt the destruction of his circuitry or whatever, So he's stable now, but he's not going to wake up unless they introduce some strong emotions.
I wonder though, strong emotion. Why don't they put something like sex drive in there for the robot?
Did you say sex drive?
Yep, strong emotion.
Well, if we're dealing with putting sex drive into robots, then that's just Kaiba by Yuasa.
All right.
I seem to remember that like sex drive was a pretty important part of that series. All right, are we done?
Good thing that we only get like 3 volumes left for Pluto, so everything will be clear by then.
As if.
No hopefully.
I mean, oh yeah, another one thing I wanted to bring up was sometimes when I'm reading not just this story but just manga in general, there are cuts that just throw me completely out of the experience. Like, for example, in the last chapter of this volume, chapter 39, where Gesicht goes to the United States of Thracia, or however you say that, America, basically.
Yeah.
He goes to that maximum security prison, and there's a scene where, he demands to speak with King Darius directly.
Right.
And there's that guy, Colonel Armstrong, the guy with the big lips, and the military haircut. He's like, the world itself is in danger. I have to speak to him. The world is in danger. And so then after he says that, you get a reaction shot from Darius, who's kind of like, mildly skeptical. And then the very next panel is the door to Darius's cell closing with Gesicht inside. Where was the discussion between the two of them about the world being in danger? Where was the debate about whether he would be allowed to see him or not? Sometimes I just don't understand the way that manga just like cuts to the next thing,
Yeah,
I've never got that.
I also feel that a bit erupted as well, but also there's like some of these decision made in this. So, it kind of like a new normal for me.
Yeah, I guess. I just prefer anime because like the director's hand is stronger. I mean, most people would argue that in manga, the mangaka has a stronger hand because he controls like almost every aspect of its production. But on the other hand, there are fewer aspects to the production. There are fewer tools that you have to create a seamless transition from one scene to another. I mean, when you think about it, in manga, all of the images are actually broken up into shapes, mostly rectangles and squares.
Yep.
So the transition from one thing to another, especially if you're moving locations, and there's been like dialogue that's seems to be missing, or travel from one location to another, it just feels really strange to me. I suppose that I would just have to read a lot more manga and get accustomed to it. But even if I did that, I think there would still be an issue there. So, anime is the best. Manga is the worst. That's the point. That's my point. Everybody who doesn't agree, y'all can just, suck it, I guess.
I would say like manga they produce many better stuff than anime in general.
I mean,
That's what I feel.
Urasawa is supposed to be one of the greatest living manga artists, and yet I don't really feel anything when I read his stuff. So
Alright.
I don't know about that claim.
I still hold a lot of respect for him. Like he even write a song in 20th Century Boys.
What song?
Uh, there was an actual song that he wrote right there. I will give you that song.
Does it have sheet music, like a melody, or is it just lyrics?
Yes. It have lyrics.
Then it's not a song. It's a poem.
Is it?
There's no music.
No. So no. So all right. He actually afterwards he produced the song. As well.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Well, that's neat.
But
okay.
Yep. But writing a song for a manga is sound like I don't even know what to say.
Sounds like he's the greatest manga artist of all time. He wrote a song.
Yep. In the manga.
Damn.
Suck that.
What a guy. All right, and with that, I guess we're all done. Are we wrapping it up?
Yep, let's just wrap it up. So this season have been really, really, really spared, and hopefully all the show that we currently watching wrap up itself nicely, and hopefully like the next season gonna be better.
I mean, I doubt that most people feel that way. You got ReZero and Origairu, and Sword Art Online is currently
All right.
airing.
All the
Those 3 shows alone are going to be enough for people to be like, this season rules.
All right. At the moment that we speak right now, I'm just looking for the next season title to see like if there are any better stuff.
I mean, I'm sure that the next season is just going to be garbage as well.
Just like any other seasons.
Yeah. Yep. That's our motto here at Double Cross Anime. This season is shit. Tune in 2 weeks. We're going to discuss something. I think 2 films, right?
2 films, that's right.
Yeah, and we'll decide what those will be. At least those will be good.
Yeah,
maybe.
Hopefully, maybe.
You're going to have to listen in to find out.
Yep.
See you later, everyone.
All right, have fun.
Bye-bye.